They almost threw it away. A dusty old coffee can, hidden in a box of forgotten junk from the attic. Inside, buttons, screws, and one coin that looked like nothing special. A 1776 to 1976 Kennedy $50 with no mint mark. But this wasn't just another bicentennial coin that IT sold $4,869,000. And here's the terrifying truth: thousands of these coins are still out there, sitting quietly in drawers, jars, pockets, and purses, while people have no idea what they're holding. Right now, you could be holding this exact coin. One moment you're broke, drowning in bills, and the next, you're staring at the coin that could pay off your mortgage, clear your credit card debt, maybe even fund your retirement, but you won't know unless you look very closely. Why is this one so special? Why did it sell for nearly $1 million? Let me take you back. The year is 1976. America's bicentennial. The country is celebrating 200 years of independence. And in the middle of all that patriotic noise, the U.S. Mint released a special $50, featuring the dual date 1776 to 1976 and a revolutionary drumming soldier on the back. Most of these coins were mass-produced. Billions. Worth 50 cents today, but not all. Some were struck in pure silver, others in circulation quality copper nickel, and a tiny few were made under mysterious, experimental conditions. And then there are those with no mint mark at all, no D for Denver, no S for San Francisco. Just blank, and that's where the mystery begins, because a no mint mark Kennedy $50 should have only come from Philadelphia, but the ultra-valuable ones? They don't behave like normal Philly coins. Some show signs of special striking, almost proof-like. Others have die varieties, like double die obverse where Kennedy's face has ghost-like echoes around the lettering, and some of them are silver-clad, even though they weren't supposed to be. A single specimen with a mis-strike and proof-like finish, no mint mark, but showing San Francisco characteristics, sold $4,869,000. Another with a dramatic double die reverse. $23,500. A silver planchet error, found in circulation. That one went $4,58000. And then, there's the SMS mystery, special mint set coins, supposedly never released to the public. Yet a few have surfaced. One was authenticated, and the bidding war ended at $812,000. So now, ask yourself, what if you have one of these coins sitting in a shoebox? What if you're one coin away from escaping everything that's been holding you back? But there's a twist: not every no mint mark coin is valuable. Some are perfectly ordinary. Worth 50 cents. Nothing more. So how do you tell the difference? Start here. First, check the edge. If you don't see a copper line running through the side, it could be silver-clad, worth hundreds or thousands. Weigh it on a digital scale. A normal copper-nickel coin weighs around 11.34 grams. But the rare silver ones? Slightly more, closer to 11.5 grams. If your scale says 11.50 or higher, and there's no mint mark, you could be sitting on a jackpot. Next, check the details, especially Kennedy's profile. If the letters or numbers look doubled, particularly in the word liberty or the "In God We Trust" motto, take it seriously. That's a double die, and collectors will pay tens of thousands for it. Still unsure? Use a magnet. These coins should never be magnetic. If your coin sticks, it's fake. But if it passes the test, and shows signs of something off, get it authenticated immediately. People have found these coins in garage sales, in grandparents' change jars, even tucked into the back of kitchen drawers. One woman found hers in a coin bag from a bank teller. She sold it, and used the money to pay off her daughter's college loan. Another man found his in a flea market box, under a pile of dirty nickels. He nearly gave it away, until he noticed the strange edge. That coin sold for $94,000. He bought a used Ford F-150 in cash and finally got his construction business off the ground. These aren't fairy tales. They're real people. Real coins. And life-changing moments born from a few seconds of curiosity. Don't ignore your coins. Don't assume it's worthless just because it looks common. Don't let that one coin, the one you might already own, slip through your fingers because you didn't know what to look for. because this isn't just about money, that it's about hope. It's about finally catching a break. $1/2. One moment. One shot to change everything. So go check your collection. Dig into those jars. Ask your grandparents. Visit that garage sale. Do it today, because this 1776 to 1976 Kennedy $1/2 with no mint mark, it might be your exit from struggle, and the next coin to sell $4.869000 could be in your hand right now. They thought it was just another $1/2. A coin left in an old change jar. Forgotten. Worth 50 cents. Until it sold for $861,000 at auction. And the worst part? The man who found it almost spent it at a gas station. What if I told you, right now, in your home, maybe in a dusty drawer, inside a coffee tin, or buried in your grandfather's old coin stash, you could be holding this exact same coin and not even know it, because this isn't just any coin. It's a 1971 Kennedy $1/2 with a tiny D mint mark. A coin that looks completely ordinary, but hides one of the most valuable numismatic secrets in modern American history, and here's what almost no one knows: some of these coins, minted in Denver, were never supposed to be struck in silver. But a handful were. And they slipped through the cracks. The U.S. Mint officially stopped producing silver $1/2 in 1970. The 1971 Kennedy $1/2 was supposed to be copper-nickel clad, completely silver-free. But, mistakes happen. Somewhere deep in the Denver Mint, a few leftover 40% silver planchets, discs meant for the 1970 coins, got struck in 1971 by accident, and when that happened, it birthed one of the rarest U.S. coins of the 20th century. At first glance, it looks normal. No glaring error. No obvious misprint. But under the surface, it's everything. Collectors have paid $23,500 for verified 1971 D Kennedy $1/2 struck in silver, and others, rare special strikes and error varieties, have gone for over $861,000. That's not a fantasy. That's documented. Real people. Real money. And the wildest part? Some were found in pocket change, but be careful. The 1971 D coin is tricky. Most are worthless. Literally just face value. Some even fakes. But a rare few are financial lifelines. One correct detail could mean the difference between tossing a coin back into your change jar, or retiring early. So how do you know? Start with the weight. Regular 1971 D Kennedy $1/2 weigh about 11.34 grams. But if yours tips the scale at 11.5 grams or more, it might be one of the silver errors. Check with a jeweler's scale. Use a magnet, it shouldn't stick. No stick means potential silver. Next, listen to the ring. A silver coin has a bright, high-pitched sound. Copper-nickel sounds dull. And yes, that tiny D mint mark under Kennedy's neck. That's the Denver clue. That's the key. You won't see silver. You won't feel it. But if you measure, test, weigh, and check, you might just be holding six figures in your palm, and it gets deeper. In 2012, a man at a flea market bought a handful of Kennedy $1/2 for $1 each. One of them, a 1971 D silver strike. It sold a few months later for $12,800. He used the money to pay for his daughter's college tuition. Another collector found one in his father's coin roll collection. It sold for $34,200. That man was behind on rent. 2 months later, he was completely debt-free. These aren't stories. These are warnings. You have to look. You have to know, because the clock's ticking. More and more people are waking up. Checking their coins. Searching old drawers. Once these silver strikes are all found, the window closes. The chance is gone. Forever, you could be sitting on money you don't even realize you have. One viewer told us, "I was about to spend it on snacks, until I weighed it. That coin sold $4,950. It's not just a coin. It's a piece of history. A relic born from the confusion and legacy of John F. Kennedy's assassination, struck during a time of transition and error. A symbol of what happens when the system slips for just a moment, and leaves behind a trail of treasure for the rest of us, but only if we're paying attention. So don't wait. Go now. Get your Kennedy $50. Check the date, 1971. Look for the D mint mark. Weigh it. Tap it. Test it. And if there's even a chance you've got the real deal, get it appraised immediately, because this could be it, this could be your moment. The one break you've been waiting for. One coin. One chance. To escape the bills, the stress, the never-ending grind. This isn't just metal. It's a miracle hiding in plain sight. Check your coins before it's too late. A man in Ohio walked into a local coin shop with a handful of old change he'd found in his late father's desk drawer. Among the nickels and quarters was one coin that felt heavier, different. A 1974 Kennedy $50, no mint mark. The coin dealer froze as he looked again. Then again. His voice dropped to a whisper, "Where did you get this?" The man shrugged. "Just found it in a box." A few weeks later, that same coin sold at auction $4,855,000. Let that sink in. 1 Kennedy $50, from 1974, with no mint mark, turned an ordinary American's forgotten coin into nearly $1 million payday. And here's the terrifying truth: this exact coin could be sitting in your collection right now, buried in a drawer, a jar, or an inherited box. You could be holding it and have no idea, but time is running out, because what makes this coin so valuable, the missing mint mark, the rare strike, the potential silver composition, only exists in a handful of known examples. And with each passing year, more of them disappear. Damaged. Spent. Lost forever. So what makes the 1974 Kennedy $50 without a mint mark so special? Let's rewind history. It's 1974. America is still grieving from the assassination of President John F. Kennedy. The Kennedy $50, introduced in 1964, was meant to be a tribute, a permanent memorial in every American's pocket. By '74, most coins were being struck in copper nickel, not silver, and the U.S. Mint was operating at full scale in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Now here's the twist: Kennedy $50 struck in Philadelphia typically don't carry a mint mark. But in 1974, a small batch was created under unusual conditions, coins that shouldn't exist the way they do. Some are believed to be special mint set, SMS, strikes, test pieces, experimental strikes, or even presentation coins. And a few were never meant for circulation. Even fewer have surfaced with characteristics that set the collecting world on fire. Imagine a missing mint mark when there should be one, or the wrong composition, or a double die error so microscopic it escapes the naked eye. 1974 Kennedy $50 with a strong double die obverse recently fetched $23,500 at a major auction. Another, believed to be struck on a leftover silver planchet, sold $4,58000. But none come close to the legend, the rare prototype SMS $50 with no mint mark, razor-sharp details, and unmatched rarity. The one that crossed $855K. Here's the cruel part: some 1974 $50 look incredibly rare, but they're worthless. Others look average, even worn, but they hide history. Changing value, and unless you know exactly what to look for, you'll never know the difference. So here's how you identify the real treasure. First, check for the mint mark, or rather, the lack of it. 1974 D coins have a small D near Kennedy's neck. But if your coin has no mint mark, that's your first clue. Second, weigh the coin on a digital scale. Regular 1974 $50 should weigh around 11.34 grams. If yours is heavier, closer to 12.5 grams, it could be struck on a silver planchet. Next, examine the edges. If the edge is solid with no copper stripe, that's another indicator it might be silver, and potentially worth a fortune. And finally, look closely, or use a jeweler's loupe, to check for doubling on the date or lettering. These small doubling errors can skyrocket a coin's value. Collectors have paid over $9,400 for a strong double die example from this year. Where are these coins being found? That's the most exciting part. People are finding them in estate sales, grandparents' jars, and even coin rolls from banks. One woman in Arizona found a no-mint mark 1974 Kennedy in a bag of half-dollars she bought for $500. She sold it for $62,000 and used the money to pay off medical debt and buy her first home in decades. Another collector picked one up unknowingly at a flea market for 50 cents. After expert grading, it was declared an SMS strike and valued at over $110,000. It doesn't take a professional, just someone willing to look closely. Someone hungry enough to hope, because this isn't just about coins. It's about what they can do for your life. One rare Kennedy half-dollar could wipe your debt clean, put a car in your driveway, change your retirement, but you have to act now. Start with your own coins. Your old pocket change. The coins passed down from family. Anything dated 1974. Look for the missing mint mark. Feel the weight. Check the edge. Use a magnet. Silver isn't magnetic, so if the coin sticks, it's not what you're looking for, and don't throw anything out until you're sure, because that one moment, that one lucky find, could be the financial miracle you've been praying for. The 1974 Kennedy half-dollar with no mint mark isn't just a coin. It's a message from history. A chance wrapped in copper and silver. A key that could unlock the door to the life you've always wanted, but only if you find it in time. So go. Dig. Search. Your miracle might already be in your hands.